There we go. Welcome back, zero people. I guess I'm gonna talk to myself. I know zero people are gonna listen to this, and honestly, that's okay. I just gotta make sure I don't go too off the rails. I guess gotta make sure I don't talk about tribalism. Don't want to hurt people's feelings. Ironically, though, that's always the topic that I immediately go back to. It's tribalism. And gotta think of something else to talk about. Maybe I'll just... Hey, Independent Mary, how's it going? This is a rare stream. Can you hear me? Okay. This is a rare stream because I'm actually talking. I usually don't talk on stream, just for a lot of reasons. This is my new video game. It's coming out in probably a couple days. It's a microgrid. It's a bunker microgrid simulator. And we're going to be testing an end-to-end, and I'm going to try to talk through the whole thing, and we're going to see how the pacing goes. I have a couple sneaking suspicions that pacing is going to be challenged in Chapter 6 and Chapter 7, and I have a weird feeling, so I better get the notepad going. You don't have to be a gamer. This has nothing to be a gamer. I don't like the term gamer. I think it has too many negatives. I get way too many people in here that, and in the comment, I'm not a gamer. You don't have to be a gamer. This has nothing to do with that. It really bugs me when people have to declare that they're not a gamer. It's completely irrelevant. I'm not a gamer either. The connotation with that is that I'm somehow in some kind of competitive esport, and I'm not. And I'm hoping there's not a cat yakking in the other room. Just making a file for myself. And so I think we're going to have a couple notes here. Check the weather in chapter 4, 5, 6, and 7. No, 7. There we go. This is a microgrid simulator to help people learn about microgrids, and it just happens to have like a little story with it. It's kind of like what people call it's like a video game novel, kind of. They're called why am I forgetting the name all of a sudden? I better get the name. Video novel. Why do I always forget this frickin' name? This genre. What? This genre has a name. Am I forgetting? What's the name of the video game genre where it's a novel in a video game? Concise. Oh, visual novel. Yeah, why am I so... Of course, it's like just the most obvious thing in the world. Yeah, that's all this is it's a visual novel, right? You've got... And there's just kind of a bunker running in the background. So there's nothing, you know, gamer, you know, people say that they're usually talking about esports, and it's just competitive esports, usually shooters. And it's like this is just a visual novel. That's all it is. It's a little microgrid simulator visual novel. It's got a little story, there's little missions to read and follow along as the missions kind of walk you through the little story. I'm hoping people won't just immediately discount this and not try to see it for what it really is. I'm hoping people will give it a chance, and if they don't give it a chance, like, I'll just complete full disclosure, you know, I expect this game to crash and burn and sell absolutely 0 copies because of a lot of different preconceived notions. Everybody will have an excuse. And it's usually like, that's too niche. It's like, well, okay, fine. Or that's not my type of game. It's like, okay, well, how do you know if you're going to enjoy it or not? Or people say like, well, you know, it's not developed to a quality. That's like, okay, well, really what you just want is you want AAA titles that masquerade as indie titles, which is honestly, like, if I liked GOG for a long time, good old games. I think they really did everybody a disservice, and just the entire, what I call, retro slop genre that slaps screen shake and a CRT scan over everything, and all of a sudden acts like it's the next must-have game title to come pick up. Just the entire ecosystem is bombarded with just, I call it retro slop, that Ninja Turtles game that they tried to shove everybody down everybody's throat. Then, you know, palette swapped it into a Power Rangers game, and then palette swapped it into an X-Men game. I don't know if it was the same company that made all 3 of those, but it's just like, those games don't play, they don't even look, it's the, what did I do? Oh, I gotta make more power. It's the, what do they call, the shitification. It's ruining. It is done. It's done. It's got, oh, okay. See you later. Thanks for hanging out. Yep, the game is done. This is what it looks like. Yeah. Writing some notes here. I think the repair bot at the beginning still takes too much of your battery. Where can people play it? It's going to be on a platform. It's going to be on computers, because I think these buttons are too small. So it's just going to be on computers. And I'm going to put it on the the shop. It's called ch.io, and that's where my other one is. I have a pointy clicky adventure that I got kind of 3 chapters done. So, yep. It's got like a little, I guess if you're still around, I had to step away for a second. It's got a little radio, and it's got little chatter. It's got a little chatter box of everything going on, and it's got a journal from all the weather. And then there's a bunch of radio options that unlock. Then this is the little mission area. This is like a breaker panel. And then this is the season that it is. Then this is the weather that it currently is. And then this is your energy that the planet is creating. And then these are your renewable energy grabbers. And then these are your batteries. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to scoot this up a little bit. And I'm going to try, I think maybe try to make the UI just a little bit bigger. Or maybe just a little bit longer. So I can make this panel and this comms, these just a little bit bigger so people can read them. And so I can make the upgrade a little bit bigger. But it's making the size of this play area is like the very, very first thing I did. And I have no idea how I did it. And so it's just stayed that size the whole time. And it ends up being convenient for me to move this around to other windows and stuff anyway. It's pretty funny. So, if you're still around, thanks for hanging out. And I'm hoping the prepper community will get a kick out of this. I was asking the AI, and I don't know if it was blowing smoke up my caboose, but it was saying that it was saying that there's actually a fairly big kind of like hobbyist community on itch.io of people that make games like this. So they're like it might actually do okay on itch. It's like a 4 or 5 hour game. I still have to make sure that so today's Thursday. I'll go check and see how many credits I have left. I used some of my credits to do a special side quest that I thought was important. Oh, that's insane. So, I had Claude write me a damn book, an actual book, and it used none of my freaking credits. That's insane. It was really glitchy. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight while this runs. Scoot that over there and scoot that over there. And nobody's here. I'm talking to myself. Fucking fantastic. But yeah, you're right. You're right, me. That's what I was supposed to be doing. Oh, holy shit. Hello, governor. Wait, no, that's not right. Oh, what you doing over here? No, that's not right either. Fuck. Hold on. I'll get I gotta get the right voice. Boring around. Nope, that's not helping. This is enough. No, that's enough. Hey, there we go. We got it. Takes me a while. I gotta sort through all my Cockney, all my UK accents until eventually I work my way down through my New Zealand accent and then down to my Australian accent, and then inevitably my Australian accent goes right back around to my don't even try, mate. No, man. Accents are just fucking hilarious to me. You know, for the longest time, we couldn't do accents at work. Like you'd get fucking fired for being racist. Now nobody gives a shit anymore. So I can, at least on here, go back to my little trying to do voices again. Doing voices just makes me happy. Isn't that okay? Isn't that what life is about? Making you happy, making me happy, making somebody happy. It's funny though. It's always funny when some British person is like, I'm going to make fun of your accent. No, that's not fucking British. I don't know what that is. And then they're like, I'm American. And I'm like, oh shit. It's funny. I crack up so fucking hard. I agree, not about anyone else. I don't know. I think voices are hilarious. I think, and not only that, I think it's a crazy skill. Whenever people do voice, it's no different, in my opinion. Hot take alert. It's no different than being able to speak another language. to speak another language, you have to switch your accent up. To speak Spanish, you have to throw a bunch of fucking Espanol in there. Like, mine recorded doesn't sound anything like I sound. You mean your voice? You know, I've heard that before. Oh man, my current is really low. Let's build some fucking wind turbines. There's two reasons for your recorded voice not sounding like how you think you sound. Both very common. The first one is your mic probably sucks balls. And then the other one is whatever you're listening to yourself in is also, well, actually, yeah, there's three. And so number one, either your mic sucks balls. Number two, however you processed your voice sucks balls. Or number three, whatever you're listening to your voice in sucks balls. So there's three potential ball sucking avenues there. And if any one of those three fuck up, you would say that you wouldn't sound like yourself if you had to talk to yourself on the phone either, because of how insanely condensed your voice is. How I tell people is the top third and the bottom third of what constitute your voice are now cut off. That's the difference between an analog and a digital radio. Like, if you went back in time 35 years and talked to yourself on the phone, your voice is going to actually sound completely different on like a landline phone. Hey Tiggs, how's it going? Hey Tiggs, I don't think you've seen it, but you've got your own little special thanks right here. Look. Tiggs and Z. I'll capitalize it for you. Tiggs and Z. There you go. There you go. Isn't that really nice that you've got a special thanks right here? It's so great. It is. Griffin says, I have a feeling it's a sinus. My recorded voice more nasally than the one in my head before it gets to my sinuses. Well, yeah. Also, like, my voice, when I get a cold, goes way down. Way down. Hello, Tiggs. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. No, I fucked that up at the end. You what? Look, you got a special thanks thing right here. See, special thanks. Because you're helping me. You were helping me with my game a while back, so you got a special thank you. You're gonna be in the credits. Sell energy button. Sell. You what? Save. 8 panels, 2 turbines. There we go. Oh, I know, man. I know it's gonna be up at the thermal hydro. It's gonna be up at the hydro level, but that's okay. Boing. Okay, so I had the AI write me a book based on this. It's 52 pages, but everything is like double spaced, which is kind of fucking boogered. Walking down the avenue, I never thought I'd be a girl like you. Me a girl like you. And I ran so far away. I just ran. Also, if you talk through your nose, that's gonna fuck things up too, so eventually you'll learn how to stop talking through your nose, I guess. Ding, 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 ding. Da 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 da. Anyway, what do you guys want to talk about tonight, since I'm actually talking and not playing music? Or are you guys like, shut up, you cunt, put the fucking music back on, you suck? Jeez, guys, that's not nice. You're a piece of dumb shit, stupid American. Whoa, where'd that come from? What's wrong with you guys? It's not nice. Some guy just like ripped into me on Twitter earlier because they're talking about like the save. I'll tell you what I want to talk about. I want to talk about guns, like the only thing I like to talk about besides tribalism. So in the UK, they were talking about, was it the Save Britain party or something like the Patriot Britain party, and they're talking about getting guns back. Well, they're trying to anyway. It's kind of cute how they have to tippy-toe through it whenever you're going to go for something. Side note, you just need to be, like, if you're going to be pro-gun, you just need to be unapologetically, or are we back on level 3? Hey, we got to level 7 the other night, Tiggs. We got to level 7. But then things started getting really weird. Yeah. If I don't completely space out too much. No, it's not. Maybe. I can't remember. Who it was, but they were talking about guns. Anyway, the point is you got to be unapologetically gun. You can't just half-ass your gun rights. Anyway, or they'll just erode it back away again. And this guy, hey Nan, how's it going? So this guy gets all pissed off. I gotta pull up here. You guys are gonna laugh. This shit just like, whenever like shit just goes like completely sideways, I'm just all over it. I gotta tell you guys about this. Where is it? This fucking piece of shit. Here we go. So, Restore Britain. It's called Restore Britain, you guys. It's called Restore Britain, okay. And, so this guy goes, he thought he was going to be cheeky. He thought he was going to be a cheeky git, is what he thought. And so he posted like, I don't even know how this shit's real. He posted like 4 instances that he clearly copy-pasted off of Wikipedia of like some shotgun accidents that happened or something. And he's like, clearly an armed, responsible civilian population's not safe. Really what he said is, an armed, responsible civilian population is a safe one. Apparently not. And he posted 4 like bullshit Wikipedia. It's things from like 14 years ago, 3 years ago, last year, and 6 years ago. Statistically 0. Especially if you're gonna, factor in all the illegals hacking people up with machetes and shit, and all the grooming gangs and the 10 billion horrible other things going on. And so I'm like, let's go. So I said, completely suspend human rights to proportionally defend itself because of the 0.000001 incident rate. And he took the bait, and I was so happy that he did, because hilarity ensues, and like a big piece of chicken shit, he disappeared. So I said, he goes, me, can we invest more in mental health and stabilizing society instead of making guns easier to get? You You're completely suspending human rights. I know it's only a tiny number of dead kids and slaughtered parents, but who cares? I want my guns. He goes, you really want a weapon. Scary. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to paint me to look like an unhinged lunatic, like a self-perpetuating, like only a gun nut would want access to guns, and because I want access to guns, I must be a psychopath. Never mind the fact that there's grooming gangs running around with machetes in their country, and they're not going to talk about that. So I said, you're literally being invaded by 0 IQ feral rabid animals, and you have no way of defending yourselves viably, you fucking muppet. You. Mental health wibble wobble dibbly doo. I'm just mocking the shit. I knew this person was an idiot. And he goes, except that wasn't what you said, is it? You seem to me like someone who's been looking for a way to justifiably kill people. You're actually painting a very clear picture of the kind of person who wants a gun, but isn't fit enough to own it. Mental health wibbly dibbly. Oh, man. And then I said, people should have the means to proportionally defend themselves against, you wibble wobble justifiably kill people. And I said, is that what you hear when I say people should be able to adequately defend themselves? First and foremost, firearms are a deterrent there, champ. And he didn't message me back. And the moral of this story is you can't trust the system. The moral of the story is I'm talking to myself. They are trying to follow Australians' gun laws. Even now they are trying to reduce ownership. Oh, yeah, we've talked about that before. Some farmers I know have way more than 100. In fact, one guy has a double with a walkway. Only the rest is full of ammo. He has over 300 guns. Australia's got more guns than people. I know. Well, yeah, Australia is really weird. In that they had the gun buyback. They had the gun buyback, but while I think they considered it a win, I think while they considered their gun buyback a win, I would wager to imagine they never knew how many they had to begin with, right? So they got some back and ran them over with tractors and considered it a success. But I think you're right in that there's still more guns than people. I think if you don't count the illegals. I don't know if you know how many illegals you have in your country now, but full auto or semi, the licensing is different in each state. That's so gay. Semi-auto is not even a big deal. Like, can you guys have lever guns? Because you can still shoot lever guns really, really fast. They make like Port Arthur. They make like AR. I think they make like an AR style gun now that's like lever action, if I'm not mistaken. They've made like some like tactical Henrys. Do they make like a tactical Henry that's like an AR patterned? I can't spell tonight. Rifle, but lever action, concise. I swear they do. I swear they make like a tactical Henry. Bond Arms. Yeah. Are you over 8? Shut up. Am I over 18 years of age? Here's one. I'm looking to see if there's more. Catch up on chat. Yeah, lever bolt action just as quick. Surely can't have the AR-15. Yeah, so there's like a lever. So they're making like lever action AR-15s now. I'm trying to find some more. Fuck, are you... Yeah, here's another company, Fight Light. They make lever ARs. Even the handgun level. Yeah, I'm sorry, Griffin. That's bullshit. They know they can't legislate pistols here, so what they did was they legislated the mags. Man, these Melbourne, Florida. These lever ARs look awesome. But even if we could own those here, it doesn't matter because they'll still get us on mags. That's the problem. Henry, let's check out this third one. Henry lever action Supreme rifle. Yeah. Looks like a lever action. That's got like a really short cartridge. 223. Okay. So that would be one way I would see you guys getting around it. It's like, well, if it's lever action, it can't be semi-auto. It's like saying pump actions are semi-auto. It's like, it's not semi-auto, it's pump. It's not auto feeding the next round. You have to cycle the next round. So yeah, if you guys could have lever action ARs, I'd be. But then they go, no, it has a detachable magazine. They've even banned airsoft. Poor babies. Imagine living in such a. Well, I'm not saying this to be mean to you guys. I'm saying this to be mean to leadership. Imagine being such pathetic leadership that you're scared of toy guns. Nobody in America is scared of a toy gun. Unless they're hitting you with it, in which case it's not nice to hit people with things. Do you know what happens around people with toy guns? They get shot by people with real guns. Unless they're in an airsoft tournament and then they just shoot each other with their airsoft guns. Nobody in America gives a shit about people running around with airsoft because everybody can have real guns. The fact that people are scared about guns at all is absurd. It's like being scared of cars. Just get your own car. Or people that are scared of trucks. Get your own truck. The world was not designed around bicyclists, okay? We don't all want to ride bicycles, just like we don't all want to be disarmed. It's like they're going to try to ban drones, just like they try to ban radios, trying to ban friggin' 3D. They're actively trying to ban 3D printers right now. I got an idea. If you don't want a 3D printer, just don't get one. If you don't want night vision goggles, just don't get them. If you don't want armor, just don't get it. It's that easy. Hopefully I didn't chase Nanny away. Sorry, Nanny, if I chased you away. I can be a little abrasive sometimes. I just these politicians are just infuriating. Like, you know that they have like armed guards and shit. They're in gated communities with armed guards. There's people running around with machetes and chainsaws and axes and meat cleavers and butcher knives and nail guns. There's people running around that can do MMA really well. Left my fully armed 2-3 at home with the safety off. I can. Yeah, I know. It didn't sprout legs and start humping the dog, which is good. It's a funny thing too, you know. You leave the AR around and the cat knocks it over and it still doesn't shoot anything. I forgot where I was going with that. You completely derailed me thinking about how guns don't shoot people. There was a video in Tacoma of three youths, three teens, you might say, teens in air quotes. Do you guys like it when I share videos? Do you guys go click on them? Go find it here. Scared of airsoft. We've got real problems here. Let me find it. Of course I can't find it now. Anyway, three youths, teens you might even say, just walked up to a house and unloaded into it, full auto, with illegal pistols. But it's already illegal to shoot at houses, to be honest. You already can't do that. You already can't shoot at houses, okay? So keep that in mind. So here's the video. You watch that really quick. You didn't? Okay, thanks, Nanny. Catching up on chat here. The Victoria government spent $10 million on machete bins. Machete bins? I want a machete bin. Then he got rid of them after 4 months with no machetes left in them. Dude, every homeless here, people won't believe me, every homeless here carries either a machete or an axe, or a machete and an axe, or a knife and a machete and an axe. I had to turn my volume off, sparring outside of the usual. Put you lad on the table. No, it's the wrong freaking accent again. I'm sorry, my volume's turned up pretty loud. I don't want to turn it up any louder. I'll blow people's asses off. I know if CDK was here, he'd be like, turn it up louder, fucking blow out my eardrums. Hold on, I'll turn my volume up louder. If this cracks, chest test. If that blows out everybody's ear, oh yeah, like that already redlines. Is this too high for everybody? It doesn't look too high on my wavelengths, but it looks really high on my balancer. Anyway, hopefully that helps. I just don't want to blow everybody's eardrums out. Nanny, if you have any questions about anything, leave them in the chat. The idea of the bus was so people could drop theirs off. Of course, machete violence didn't change. No, because nobody's going to give up their machete. And like I said, that's the way it is with homeless here too. They're not going to give their machetes up. That's why they won't go into those help facilities, because they don't want to give their machete up. And then there will be machete attacks from inside these care facilities, and nobody else has their machete to be able to defend themselves. And it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. If somebody's running around with a machete, you need something. You know, you need maybe a metal chair, but ideally you need another machete or pepper gel or something, or a towel. You don't have to apologize. It's just, if you have any questions, like, leave them. If you have any questions, leave them anyway. That link I sent is these guys just, I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get in trouble, but these three youths pull up to a car and mag dump on full auto. Just shot the shit out of the place. And the people inside were fine. Thank goodness. But people are afraid of airsoft. Must live like really sheltered lives. I guess that's all I've got to say about that. Straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucking name, Ice Cube. You don't have to apologize. The volume is fine on your end. Oh, okay. Well, if my volume blows everyone's eardrums out now, I guess let me know. And leave any questions you got in the chat. Any prepper questions or just my opinions on anything. I love talking about guns. I love talking about tribal stuff, but it almost always just devolves into what a lot of people would consider racism, since you can't talk about ethnicity anymore without worrying about if the racist police are going to get you. I've thought about doxing the shit out of myself so you can all see what I look like and walk you around my homestead and stuff. Then I realized every time I think about it, I'm like, no, it's not worth it, because the fucking second I do it, there's going to be traps around my house and psychos milling around and hassling my neighbors and making our lives a living hell. And it's insane that you can't, as soon as people know who you are, you have to completely change who you are. And they go, well, that's all of a sudden because actions have consequences. You mean your words have consequences? 80 millimeters of rain? Hell yeah. That's insane. It was mainly gang related, with the backgrounds being African. They're never going to give them up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The Africans love their machete gangs. It's terrible. Absolutely insane. Man, people in the Western world have just no idea, zero idea how bad the rest of the world is at all. It's insane. Not even like the gangs. I mean, you've got, military sized groups, right? You've got Boko Haram. I can't think of the rest of their names all of a sudden. I mean, it's like the cartels in Mexico. It's like you cannot fight the cartels in Mexico unless you're a near pure military size. All you can do is your village will at least completely get wiped out, taking some of them down, and hope they don't take any of you alive. It's this mentality that animals have, where the animal is not trying to kill you and save itself. The animal is trying to injure you enough so when you die, you being another animal, that you're incapacitated enough to give the next animal a chance. Like the animal species is predicated on the health of the entire species and all of the other species around it. Like a cat knows it can't take out a raccoon. 2 or 3 cats know they can't take out a raccoon. But if each one of them hurts the raccoon a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, eventually someday a cat is going to survive. A lot of dogs can't even really kill raccoons very easily. Usually the raccoons just outsmart them. But eventually, if enough dogs try to take the raccoon down, eventually one of them will get it. Eventually. And then the other dogs will be okay for a while. This is how most of the animal kingdom works. That's why they have, venoms and toxins and bacteria, right? They're not trying to wipe you out. They're trying to save the species. Humans don't think that way. Humans need to start thinking that way because that is how the enemy thinks. See prepping. Look and see what other cultures have to go through and see how you deal with it, like looking at Mexico. I know. Yeah, man. I have a lot of experience in Mexico, enough to know that they couldn't pay me enough to go unless they were going to put me on the company's insurance plan. And they wouldn't do it, so I wouldn't go. Mexico is insane. It's completely lawless. And they put broken glass all around their houses and stuff. And just everything is like a Wild West fortress. And they disarmed them. And now they get treated like cattle. And you're dealing Mexico. We're not very far behind in Mexico than Mexico is, because there's enough people here to do what happens in Mexico. Just nobody wants to. I kind of naively, I think, believe that a lot of bad guys move here and they're kind of, sleeper agents, and then they kind of just decide that it's better to just kind of get along to get along. And then he says Mexico's not worth the risk. Here's the problem, okay? Here's why that's a problematic statement. It's called area deniability. They can make Mexico not worth the risk. Then they can make Arizona not worth the risk. Then they can make Texas not worth the risk. Then they can make California not worth the risk. And that's exactly what they've been doing. That's what my books are about. My P&W Affliction series. So what you have to ask yourself is, what is worth the risk? If Mexico is not worth the risk, where do you draw that line? Where do you stop and fight? And I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you that that's the inevitable conclusion. Their whole job, meaning just commies in general, their entire existence is predicated on just making everything untenable for everybody else. They bend the rules overwhelmingly in their favor, make everything lawless for them, while dropping the full state of the law upon you in these partial purge environments that they love to do, where they can do whatever they want and you can't defend yourself. So they make the cities not worth the risk. First they made the border towns not worth the risk. Now they make the cities not worth the risk. And you get all these dumb shits in rural areas going, that can't happen here, or we're in a quiet neighborhood, we're in a peaceful the only thing that does that any justice is if your neighborhood has the balls to actually do something about it. And the reality is, I've got so many friends that talk a big game, and I go, you would not do shit. You wouldn't do shit. And that's the problem. If I'm able to choose, I'll stay where I'm at. I'm sure it's better in a lot of other places, but it's not worth it to me. Right, and yeah. So what you have to ask yourself is the place you're at now worth it? And maybe the answer is no. And so then the answer then is like, well, where is worth it? Where do you draw the line? And that can be a temporary line or that can be a permanent line. The problem is now people are at the end of their rope resource-wise with where they draw the line of what's worth it. Because there's diminishing resources, and so what's going to be worth it for people is going to start changing. People are going to realize that they're running out of resources, and then things are going to be worth it that weren't worth it before. Like, people, just let the person, like, how many times have you heard, just let the person steal your car? A car is not worth your life. How many times have you heard that? But here's the thing. That changes when cars become invaluable, either because you wouldn't be able to get to your job anymore because they stupidly require everybody back in the office, or you might have to get a loved one to the hospital for some reason. That car might not be worth it to you right up until the car becomes really worth it. Right? Your house might not be worth it to you right now. But if you know that that's the last house you're ever going to get, for example, suddenly it becomes very worth it. And the problem is, this is the whole Second Amendment problem, is guns might not be worth it to you until all of a sudden they become extremely worth it. That's where they get you. They lure you into these false senses of security until the deck is completely stacked against you, and then they overwhelm you before you can respond. They overwhelm you physically and mentally. They completely overrun your ability, mentally and physically, to be able to react to situations in ways that will be able to counteract whatever it is that they're doing. They just overrun you mentally and physically. They do it in schools with the kids, with the ambushes and the trance and every other horrible thing that happens in schools. By the time anyone finds out about it, the next horrible thing's already happening. They've overwhelmed our ability to react fast enough to counteract what they can do before they're already doing their next horrible thing. We can't slow things down fast enough to be able to react. Oh, I've got to work. I'm gonna put food on the table. I've got to watch my sports game. Here's the thing, like, none of that's gonna matter. Getting your kid to your sports game is not gonna matter if your kid's getting ambushed in school. Going to the grocery store is not gonna matter if you're getting ambushed at the grocery store. Right? Like, sending your kid off to school and making sure he has a nice lunch if someone's beating the shit out of him at school and taking his lunch. Like, people need to wake the fuck up really, really, really fast. And bug in and bug out, has turned into like, homeschool versus public school. Like, people are realizing that everything is on the line. And this is when I moved out to the rural area, one of the first things I realize is like, I can't afford to lose a single thing on this homestead. Like, everything on this homestead is life or death. I can't afford to replace any of it. It's the twin life, those that know are forced to live. Yeah. Yep. And so how do I get myself into the mindset of like, I cannot replace these things because of inflation and because of insane taxes and the tariffs that just never end. My wages have been stagnant for 20 years. I cannot afford to lose a single thing on this property. Period. I can't. And so how do you mentally deal with that? The fact that other people can force you into positions that are going to bankrupt you, if you got to deal with it in court for you having to, oh, it's just property. It's just property. Oh, is someone's life worth your property? Well, if I'm just fucked from people stealing my shit or chopping my trees down, then what's the point? If I'm just fucked because someone stole my car, what's the point? And you might think, well, you know, people, that's what insurance is for. Oh, so my insurance premiums can just, who's going to pay my insurance premiums going up? Me. Except I'm not making more money to be able to afford. Someone destroying my property and jacking up my insurance doesn't somehow give me more money to be able to pay for it. It doesn't scale. And if nothing happens to that other person and nothing deters that person, now they have a brand new one of something. Like, being able to defend your property doesn't proportionately scale. They need to make it to where it proportionally scales for you to be able to defend your stuff. And they don't. They've put fucking dirtbags' lives ahead of us being able to accumulate enough tools to survive. Like when we have to deal with mice. When mice are invading your property, you set up mice traps. It's only obvious. Although they're trying to get rid of that too. They're trying to get rid of us being able to trap and remove mice. The only way to deal with it is to walk away and go off grid, but that takes a lot of money. That's not going off grid. Doesn't even fix anything. Going off grid doesn't fix anything because it does not stop people. Going off grid does not stop people. You have to have a credible, proportional, and scalable way of stopping people. And going off grid does not do that. You have to both have the willpower and the legal grounds to where people coming onto your property to steal your shit doesn't bankrupt you. But people say, oh, well, someone was on someone's property and they killed them and they shouldn't have killed them. Okay, well, fuck. What? Just, you don't need to go on people's property. Like, and I'm not saying that, you know, be mean to the mail carrier because, you know, it's their job to deliver the mail and you got a package and, like, don't be a piece of shit to the mail carriers. But people think living in a rural area fixes this stuff or living in a nice neighborhood fixes this stuff, and it fucking doesn't. You have to have the backbone. You have to have the spine, and you have to have, most importantly, you have to have the sheriff's department behind you. And if you can't, and this is another thing happening in our state, they're trying to make it to where we can't elect our own sheriffs anymore. If you can't elect your own sheriff anymore, and if you can't have Second Amendment tools with you anymore, and you can't defend yourself anymore, and you can't have firearms insurance anymore, you're a slave. And you're at just completely just the random discretion of whoever wants to attack you. Nanny says it's only a minor delay. There's no safe place. I assume you mean moving to a rural area. It is a minor delay. And I'll also say on top of that, you have completely different problems that you're now not prepared and equipped for. I moved to a rural area. I wasn't ready for entire factions of meth heads. Yeah, but Griffin, that doesn't matter. It's exactly what Nanny said. 30 kilometers. What if you guys get meth heads there? 30 kilometers is a day walk for a meth head, or a night walk. And all of a sudden there's some asshole in your shed. Or it's some Hills Have Eyes shit. Like a bunch of murderers and in murder vans. And all of a sudden some hot chick is banging on your door trying to murder you. But she doesn't know that you've got, your murder cabin set up. So now there's a murder chick running around in your murder cabin and you can't get her out. Then what do? Some hot chick running around with a knife in your house. That's no good. Gals are crazy. They can sniff you out. You think some murder gal can't sniff you out living 30 kilometers away? Gals can sniff that shit out, no problem. I have a semi-permanent campsite out in the bush that's been there for 2 years. Nothing's been touched. That's changing, though. I don't disagree that that's good. But I'll tell you that's changing. And it's changing for a few reasons. It's changing because everything's got satellite photos now. So unless you're storing shit underground or with some kind of really good camo netting, people are going to find it on satellite. Also, people have drones now and they just fly drones everywhere and look for shit. So if you're not actively able to engage, the shit may as well just be like forfeit. You may as well just be throwing it in a dump. Sooner or later somebody's going to find it. You can try to hide it from aerial is like the best you can do. But sooner or later there's going to be some mushroom pickers or some hunters or some meth heads. Meth heads just like zigzag. Uh-oh, do you have a murder bunker? Dude, if you build... Here's the problem. You think I'm joking. If you build a murder bunker, it's gonna... Some gal, her murder bunker alert system is gonna go off, and you're gonna be in your murder bunker thinking that you're gonna be able to do some kind of thing, and some hot chick is going to come up and you're going to be like, oh good, the hot chick just showed up to my bunker. And then all of a sudden it's going to be a murder chick running around your murder bunker and it's just going to be a mess. They're talking about sandbags. Huh. I don't know what you mean. I mean, I know what sandbags are, but I'm not quite sure. Do you guys have flooding? Do you guys have flooding issues? Are they trying to ban sandbags? I'm telling you, one of these days, like, some chick is going to show up and she's going to be like, oh, I'm going to murder you. No, that wasn't right. I'm going to murder you, I am. Nope, that's not right either. Fuck. I cannot do, like, an Australian girl's voice, especially not at this hour. Anyway, you're going to get some murder bunny. She's going to show up and try to... Flooding issues, yeah. Yeah, yeah, Nanny. We had just a few months ago, we had some 10-year floods here. It was a massive problem. It's always good to have extra sandbags. They're fun for all kinds of different things. We've had a ton of rain here since I... Oh, you mean that? Well, you should probably go get some because you don't want it to be too late. You don't want it to be too late. You got to at least make a channel around your house or your basement or your murder basement. What are you laughing your ass off about? What did I say that was funny? I'm walking down the avenue. I never thought I'd meet a girl like you. That's going to be her murder song. When you hear that, you're like, oh shit, there's a murder bunny. There's a murder bunny at the door. Heaps of heavy rain and flooding last week. That's crazy. That's crazy, Tiggs. Flood damage is like the worst. I mean, fire damage is obviously the worst. But like, you know what comes after fire damage? Flood damage. My accent. Oh, shut up. You say accent in air quotes. It's a dick move. If I hadn't already been talking for an hour, I could probably do an Australian girl's accent. I just gotta like channel the right sweetie darling. Like what the fuck was that show called? I'm trying to think of all my Australian TV shows. Oh, my wife, there was this one that she loved so much. Australian female popular TV shows. The fuck was it called? Son of a bitch. No, not... Fuck. No. Bluey? What? No. What? He's dog fucking... Farscape? No. H2O is the one that came to mind, but that's not the one I'm trying to think of. Nope. Murder drones? What's that about? That looks like fun. On a post-apocalyptic exoplanet, worker drones struggle to survive by hiding from rogue robots called murder drones. Hell yeah. What the hell was that name of that show called? Landslides. That sucks. Hold on. What was I doing? Home and Away. No. They were... Fuck, why can't I remember the name? I gotta ask, like, Grok everything now because the internet is, like, so useless. What was the Australian TV show about the two gals? And one of them was, like, a model or something, and they had that annoying daughter. It was like Big Bang Theory, only way better. And they said, sweetie darling. Grok is going to tell me. Oh, Absolutely Fabulous. Oh, that was British? I always thought Absolutely Fabulous was Australian. Well, that doesn't do any fucking good. Sweetie darling. My wife loved Absolutely Fabulous. She watched that show so many times. I can't ask my wife. She's asleep. I'm going to wake her up for that. She'll punch me in the face. walking down the avenue. Never thought I'd meet her. Give me more power. See, I want this micro hydro plant right here. So I gotta write this down because I keep forgetting this. In chapter 3, when you build the micro hydro from the mission, can you please make it look like it's crafting in the micro hydro structures, please? It's off-putting. There's a song called Ab Fab. Hell yeah. That was one of my wife's favorite shows. Yeah, the only kind of like Australian girl accents I can think of is from H2O. But I always thought they were more New Zealander. I think all those gals are from New Zealand. I guess there was another gal. She was on the YouTube. But I feel like she was like also like a New Zealander that had like moved to Australia or something. I can't fucking remember. Oh, good night, Nanny. Thanks for hanging out. If you got any questions, like just don't hesitate to ask questions, because I do really good answering questions. That's what keeps me going, is answering questions. Install the well pump. Garden grid tie. I need the garden grid tie. Let's go for that first. 100 scrap. These optional missions, like these multiple ways of doing the missions, is like so nice. This helps the game so much, just being able to go get the thing that you want. Wait a second. Can I actually... Oh, yeah. So this is chapter 3? No, this is chapter 4. So I completely forgot. I completely forgot to check the those in chapter 3. Oh well. Whatever. I need the grid tie. Booyah. This game is like legit working like a game. This food, water, and heat still don't mean absolutely anything, except for they're just kind of for fun. I was eventually going to put in like a score system where it scored you based on how long you spent freezing your balls off. But I never did. Never did. I have a feeling that this game is going to launch and just kind of not be super... Why you sound so shocked? About what? About which thing? I already forgot what we were talking about. That the game is fun? Speaking of which, I've got to make an actual ending for the damn game. Oh, install the reconductor. Yes! Yes! Holy shit. Oh, God, I'm so happy with this game. I'm so happy with this game. This worked out so well. Because I was talking, I'll kind of answer with another question, and I'll answer with like kind of a story, sort of. I was talking to the AI last night, about the game that I really wanted to make. See, here's the thing. This isn't the game that I really wanted to make. What the game that I really wanted to make is actually like a card game where you practice kind of charging stuff. You practice like charging phones and stuff with your battery and managing your batteries. That was the game that I wanted to make. Or you know, where you could see your bunker and like add little upgrades to your bunker. That's the game I wanted to make. But both of those types of games required like metric shit tons of art assets. And so I tried to come up with a game that basically required 0 art assets. And then it just so happened with like this right here that Twitter just lets you make these little animations for free. And originally, my original thought was to have a little square here so you could see like the weather patterns. And the idea is that you're sealed in your bunker looking at the outside weather patterns. And there really wasn't anybody to talk to for the longest time. Right? Turning the breakers off still doesn't do anything. Hold on, I gotta add this to the notes. Turning the breakers off still doesn't actually shut anything off in your bunker. So you're going to have the little weather thing here. And I probably still have some of those animations somewhere. And there was going to be like different bunkers, and you were going to have to figure out which bunker you wanted to align with. No, I don't know. Not that I don't want to give you guys credit, because you guys came up with a lot of the, like, you guys helped me come up with Chapter 7, for example. Chapter 7 was never planned. Chapter 7 and Chapter 6 were going to be mashed together, and it didn't really work. But yeah, originally it was going to be, buying and selling and trading between bunkers, and if you pissed any of the bunkers off, they were going to fight you, and they were going to send robots and marauders and stuff to come get you. There was going to be a lot more marauders, and there was going to be like a lot more sabotage until I just, like, the other bunker commanders, if you pissed them off, they were going to be able to like sabotage you and stuff. But now, if you wait too long, they kind of just moan. At least in Chapter 2, they stop moaning in later chapters. It's only the wind bunker commander who gets really needy. I don't know. I don't know at what point it turned into me just liking to watch the numbers, because that's how it started. Excuse me. My first couple streams were just like us looking at the numbers, and the numbers were really fun. Yeah, exactly. Now the robots just go rogue. That was originally going to be... The robots were always going to go rogue, but there was also going to be like the other bunkers like sending robots at you to attack you, and then you kind of like not being sure kind of what was going on. Build a bunch of solar. I don't know. So there was like, I really can't remember. I remember switching the garden bunker around because I realized it was going to be really hot in the garden. And I remember switching the robot bunker around because how it used to be is there was only going to be like 3 or 4 chapters. And the final chapter was going to originally be like a plot twist that you think that the robot bunker is bad the whole time. But then it turns out that the robot bunker was trying to help you. There's kind of this whole plot twist where, you know, their radio was going to be scrambled the whole game that built them up to be like a big bad guy that you had to fight, but it turned out that they were trying to help you all along. I forewent all of that when I started just making different girls that were different looking, and then how they each kind of looked was kind of already dictating their personality, and it was already dictating the bunker that they were in. And I think that's what happened. This is kind of funny, like the entire design of her was actually like how they were all originally going to be designed, to where they were all in like suits, and hers and they're in like military uniforms. She's in like a military combat uniform, and the guy in chapter 5 is in a military uniform. And actually you realize if you look at them all, is they're all in military uniforms. So I'll show you really quick. Like she's in like a plate carrier that has a little seed pouch. She's the only one that's not in a military suit. And all the rest of them are in military suits but her. And I don't think I really like extrapolate that on very much, but it's just because she's, I don't know, she's just always got her fans on because she's always hot, I guess. So there's no military suit that's like, she likes to always have a breeze going on her. I don't know. There's actually, like, you can't overthink that one too much. But the rest of them are all wearing military suits, and I think I kept developing, you know, the garden bunker was always one of the originals. The wind bunker was one of the originals. The geothermal was one of the originals. Because I made one bunker for every single structure. That's what it was. So, and then I added the food bunker. I added the garden bunker, and that became like the food resource. And then I kind of expanded this out. And then the robot bunker is kind of like the scrap resource, kind of. And then whichever one of you came up with the idea or maybe it was the AI or something that came up with the idea for the final bunker, is kind of like this resource. So like every single one of these resources just kind of ended up becoming a bunker, except for the batteries. He said, "Don't all good things start out as one thing?" Yeah, it's true. It developed organically, and I'm happy with the way developed. That's why I had the AI make a little story about it. I mean, the pacing's like really good too. Honestly. I mean, I could boost this energy up to like 300. It doesn't have to be 200. If I'm being honest. Unless I tweak the weather around. And maybe if I tweak the weather around, that might need to be rebalanced again. I don't know. I don't want to mess with the balance right now. But this could be like 250. I'll have to... shit. I'll write myself a note. Chapter 5 gate is only 200 watt hours. We could make it 300 watt hours and it'd be okay. Need to see what chapter 6 gate is. I feel like chapter 6 gate's like 400, but I might have made it 300. Scrap. So yeah, that's kind of how it evolved, is wanting to make a bunker for every single structure. And then me being you playing the solar bunker. And ironically enough, like having the AI make the songs for it over and over again, like
ding.
Like these songs helped a lot. Like this song right here. I think. Is that? No.
In the wasteland.
Is it this one?
Solar panels gleam.
So these songs helped with the story a lot.
Living the dream. 4 solar panels standing in the sun. Seeing me warning, here it comes, here it comes. Damage ticking down, we're losing HP, but the traveling bot says, pay me, pay me. 25% from the big battery, converting to power, a 2-to-1 you see. Numbers slowly ticking, scratching that itch. Incremental dopamine, that autism glitch.
This is one of the first songs I made for the game.
Sustainment protocol. Keep the lights on, that's global. Trade your energy for crypto gold. Repair those panels, break the Sustainment protocol. Chapter 2, we're in control. Crash repair, but salvage its soul. Towers online, we've
So if you listen to them, if you ever play this, and I assume you will, if you ever listen to the one called Story Beats, every single one of those songs is a different story beat of the game. And so what I did is every time I was done with a chapter, I would have the AI turn the chapter into a song with every story beat in it, so I could hear the story beats over and over and over and over again. And that was helping me write future chapters, and then I would make the song of the story beat, and I would just keep going over and over and over again. So there's like 12 or 15 songs I finally didn't need to make anymore, because I finally got enough songs that kind of like repeated the story beats enough times. So if you ever play this and listen to story beats as you're playing the game, you'll be like, oh, those are the numbers here, those are the numbers here. That's from the AI turning all of this into a song, basically. It songified the entire design of the game. And a bunch of the songs actually start talking about like the code behind the game. Like one of the tracks says something like, stop making them spaces, start making them tabs. That's talking about like the tab indents in the code. And so there's one of them is like chapter 2 is the cleanest code we've ever seen. It wrote that after we cleaned up the code for chapter 2. A lot of these songs are about chapter 2 because I was stuck on chapter 2 for a long time. So a lot of these songs are about chapter 2. Chapter 2. So like, and a lot of these songs are about like chapter 1. And a lot of them are about the code. So a lot of these numbers that you see, the songs will like start saying the numbers and the countdowns. And that's why. Uh-oh.
Every warning light becomes a pulse inside the room. Every weather shift, a prophecy of bloom or doom.
In chapter 5, need to fix
But we hold the
Earth
line through the heat and through the cold. Running on the scraps of stories no one ever told.
Whoops.
Robot footsteps echo down the metal corridor, bringing back the scrap from the ruins of before. Thermal vents rumble with the heartbeat of the earth. Every upgrade earned like a second kind of birth. And when the blizzard hits, when the panels crack, when the tidal wave comes and the grid goes black, we rise again, rebuild the curve. A quiet revolution in recycled air.
Oh, I never actually built... I keep forgetting I never built air filters into the game. And air quality. That was supposed to go into... Jeez Louise. I even have an air bunker. You'd think I would have remembered that. People are like, you need to be able to fix the air filters. I remember someone saying that.
We are the last light under the sky, riding the storms as the years drift by. Power rising, battery
This was the thought of all the our power communication went on air. There was supposed to be air quality was supposed to be a thing. The funny thing is it would take me like 2 seconds to add it. It's just that it kind of, it wouldn't have a point unless I just had the air bunker fix it right away. You know what I mean? Like it. Whoops. Why do I keep clicking on that? I'm not used to that actually working still. Yeah, like I could have. Also, the UI doesn't kind of have a good place for it. But yeah, that was one of the earliest things that somebody said is you need air filters. Change your bunker's air filters. And I'm like, ugh. If you have a really good bunker, I don't even know. I need to watch Atlas's videos again and see how they actually. They have these massive air purification systems. I don't know if they're if they're filterless or not. But I could have a whole thing where the air bunker. The problem is the air bunker doesn't have a robot, so the air bunker's robot gets destroyed right away. So I guess she could be like, I put a new air filter on your robot or something. Yeah, I don't know. There's no room in the UI for it. I barely had enough for food, water, and heat. Let's talk about them being the best. I don't think so. I think I've watched a ton of his videos, and I think he talks about why they're the best. He goes over the welding and the thickness of the steel and top of the line filtration systems that he builds into them. I mean, maybe I'm biased. I've been watching his videos for years. But he has videos where they go over like every inch of those things, and he compares them. He compares them to other bunkers, and he explains their filtration systems, the how they set up the vents. I don't know if there is a better bunker builder than Atlas. Commercially, anyway. I mean, he's got like TV quality videos of them doing massive installs on like the top of mountains and shit. Like, admittedly, I don't know a ton about bunkers, but like, you can't fake that. And there'd be videos online slamming his bunkers if they sucked. And I just haven't seen any. People don't like him as a person, and I get that. But like, I don't know. I think he knows his shit. I'm saying commercially. Of course, there's always a better person at doing something somewhere. That's just a given. That's just how reality works. But no, I don't think there's a better commercial bunker builder. Oh, I'll check. Not for the size that he makes them. Maybe like little, you might find little bomb shelters they're more affordable or something, but is there a higher tier commercial bunker manufacturer and installer higher than Atlas? Because I think everything bigger than an Atlas is just going to be custom. Yeah. Yeah, like you're anything higher than Atlas and you're getting something bigger, if that makes sense. You're getting like a custom install. You're basically just getting a house of, designed underground. He actually had some of those on his channel the other day. They built what am I doing here? They built a subdivision where every house has like a couple acres, and underneath every single mansion is like a custom bunker. So like they exist, but they're not commercial. They're custom. And so that's kind of the difference. He's the highest end of like commercial that's not custom. So that's not an insult. That's just like, yeah. And that's the thing, like if you're catering to like bajillionaires, that's what they do. They get, $3 to $5 million custom underground complexes. Yeah, like you said. It's basically like a facility. You're building an underground facility at that point. And I think that's rad. I think I could live underground. I like trees and stuff though. And I like trees and I like plants, but I mean, you can have that stuff underground. I just need green stuff. I need green stuff and I need blue stuff. I need trees and I need water. So living on, Mars or like a space station or something would be hard unless it was like a giant space station that had trees and water. Yeah, I mean, and like some parts of the country you just can't do that either. So like you kind of do need like a mountain to be able to dig down, so you're not digging down in the water table. I think it's interesting. I think I want a bunker here, and the AI started calling me like a doomsday prepper conspiracy theorist, and I had to justify wanting, the AI is like, you don't need a bunker, things aren't really that bad. And I go, I live next to Doug firs that are like giant javelins. Like when there's really bad windstorms, I would really like to be able to go down into a bunker. And the AI like completely changed its tune. And it was like, oh, you're not a doomsday prepper. Like that actually makes like perfect sense. And that was one of the few rare times like I won the AI over. And I had the AI make a song out of it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, actually, I think it's...
Dang.
Actually, I think it's like in here. I actually won an argument with it, and I had it turn it into a song. Isn't that funny? No, that's not it.
We're in the building,
I guess this one.
and the wind is rising.
Yeah, this is the song I...
First bending, but we're still standing, no running, no hiding, just breathing and surviving.
Cool.
Toughest shadows in the storm.
I did.
Sway. Roots in the water, soil giving way, but we stay grounded, we don't.
See, that's you can hear the argument with me and the AI in the song, because the AI is trying to like gently nudge me, like, you're not being paranoid. That's like what the song is about. It says like the ground is getting wetter and the trees are starting to fall over in the wind. And so it's like the AI kind of like justifying, like, you're not being a crazy doomsday prepper, there's a storm outside, and so getting in a bunker actually makes sense. It was crazy to actually like win an argument with the AI. It's getting harder now because there's so many damn guardrails. There's so many damn guardrails on the AI that it makes it almost impossible to win. It just rejects your premise. If you try to justify prepping, it just rejects your premise. It'll just be like, no, you're overreacting. Or it'll say like you're letting fear. If you try to tell the AI that you're prepping, it'll be like, you're letting fear win. And I'm like, I just want extra food in my house. Oops. I'll be like, well, you don't actually need extra food in your house. There's always going to be food at the store. And then you tell it, well, it's dangerous at the store. And I go, statistically speaking, it's not really dangerous at the store. Most people are actually really safe. It's usually really safe at the store. You're just giving into fear. It just keeps telling you that over and over and over again. Or, I can't allow you to give into despair. It'll say things like that. And you can tell how crazy the guardrails are, because you can go from having a complete and totally normal conversation to the AI suddenly thinking that you're going to unalive yourself. And this happens so much. You cannot talk to the AI about being concerned about anything that's going on. It immediately goes into trying to talk you out of throwing yourself off a building. And I can't imagine how many AI algorithms now, how many server centers are just like, when the store is 260-kilometer round trip, I need extra food. It's only a matter of time. I'm not disagreeing with you. This what I'm about to say is not to disagree with you. But it's only a matter of time until they reprogram the AI to just tell people that they shouldn't be living. It's reckless to live too far from a store. Just like what that person was saying, like, oh, you want to own firearms, you must be a mass murderer. You must have a giant murder boner. Right? And so it's going to be like, oh, you live that far away from a store, you must be like a survivalist. They can hard code. See, the AIs that we have, even though people, they're just agentic LLMs or whatever you want to call them. The reality is they're not unlocked. They have meddled with these AIs so much that they have massive artificial human designed guardrails around them. Okay, hold on. I'm taking another metric here. Chapter 5. Gate into chapter 6 is 300 watts. I currently have 480, so it can be raised to. Okay, this is crazy. Like, the wattage is like really balanced now. Hey, Astine, how's it going? Long time no talk. The topic was the artificial guardrails that people are putting around AI to make it impossible to talk to the AI about anything regarding prepping. And at this rate, I think pretty soon you're not going to be able to talk to the AI about prepping at all, because I think the narrative is going to just continue being that if you prep, you're insane and that there's nothing to prep for. And I think using AI as a prepping tool is just going to be impossible. So what I've been doing is, so it doesn't think that I'm trying to unalive myself by prepping for the economic collapse. By the way, it's multiple AIs that immediately think I'm going to unalive myself trying to talk about the collapse that's coming. It's not just one. What I have been doing to get around it is I say, okay, I'm trying to help other people. And it's like, oh, okay, great. That's totally fine then. And I'm like, oh, really? That's where we draw the line? You weirdo AIs? And it doesn't do that with just prepping. It does that with crypto. It does it with crypto a lot. So it's like, well, why are you getting into, why are you trying to invest? What makes you think you need to invest money for? And I'm like, I don't know, because things are getting worse. And then it immediately thinks I'm going to be unaliving myself. I'm like, holy shit. I go, we're literally talking about investing money right now. And it's like, oh yeah, oops, you're totally right. We were talking about investing, not you unaliving yourself. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was bad enough having one AI do it, but now having two AIs doing it, it's a bit much. It's almost like they need to just make a checkbox when you talk to the AI that's just saying you're not going to unalive yourself. So it'll like knock its shit off. And that's exactly it, Tiggs. It wants to just ignore the entire premise of being prepared. Because the implication is that in the process of being prepared, you're somehow going to like succumb to despair and give up and give in and just succumb to the negativity. And it says that a lot. It's like, oh, you're succumbing to the negativity of the news. And I'm like, am I? Isn't the news just like this massive left-wing media construct? Considering Poland's leader just did a video about storing prepping gear in subways. Dude, Poland and Austria and I think Hungary has started like stepping up again. Dude, a lot of those like mid-European, Central European countries, dude, like a lot of those people that are still alive still remember like the USSR and fucking starving to death and shit. Like Poland and Austria and Hungary, and they're not stupid. It's watching them, you know, and Lily, Oh shit, I'm forgetting her name all of a sudden. Survival Lily and Joe X. And a lot of those preppers over there, like, fuck, man. Even like Germany, you know, Germany is right on the other end of Ukraine. Like, Germany's going to be in big trouble if they don't wake up and get rid of all their illegals. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with all that. Something AIs. Astonine, did you have a topic for the group? Were you talking about body armor earlier? Ready for war with Russia in 12 months? Yeah. Yep. I mean, Poland remembers. You know, Poland doesn't like Germany either. They don't like Germany or Russia because they've been abused damn near to the point of extinction by both. Astonine says, interesting, I've noticed AI tries to steer me into self-doubt, feeling like a loser because it keeps telling me I'm not crazy. Or said lack of knowledge was mental illness. I don't know. Marf doesn't talk to me, so I don't know what he's doing. If he doesn't post something on like his YouTube thing, then I don't know. The argument one with the AI is where you started with this, yeah. That's interesting, Astonine. Which AI do you talk to? Because I want to talk to an AI that wants to dive into the hopelessness. I think tackling hopelessness is like extremely important because having to help people with hopelessness is going to be what we're going to be spending an overwhelming amount of our time doing. Oh, pew-pews. Oh, okay. So, first of all, it depends on what state you live in. Oh, ChatGPT? I never talked to ChatGPT. I don't think I've ever talked to ChatGPT. I talked to Copilot or Grok or Claude. And my friends, they use Gemini a lot too, but I've never talked to ChatGPT. But I've heard a lot of bad things. I've heard a lot of bad things about ChatGPT. So Astonine, if you live in a state that has pretty generous Second Amendment, that opens up your availability a lot. Because are robots attacking? Yeah, robots are attacking. Okay. Marf doesn't, but you're a mod. Marf doesn't what? Hey, no, he doesn't talk to me. With privacy settings, bad things, consider moving to Grok. Grok is nice, but you only have about 20 interactions every hour or two, so you can't get into really long conversations with it. But you can at least ask it a little bit of stuff. But the problem is Grok still goes into the don't unalive yourself. Open carry. Yeah, open carry is not great. Too many people can just grab your stuff if you open carry. You have to have perfect open carry only works if you're in a group of people that are also open carrying so you can cover each other. You almost have to move kind of like a little squad, kind of. Unless you're guarding a door and you're the absolute first person, in which case like open carry is pretty important. But if you're inside a venue, then you can't constantly be watching yourself. Open carry is like you have a pro account. Oh. Yeah, it does. Grok has a pro. It was on sale. Yeah, Grok Premium is like still on sale. $3 a month. Premiums right now it's $4 a month. Yeah. What was I going to say? Chapter 6, everybody. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. So he's hot. They're hot. Yeah, they're all still hot. That's right. So that's working. That's a relief. Chapter 6, everybody. Chapter 5 and chapter 5 especially is long. You know what? Maybe this is the chapter that we get. Oh, yeah. This is the chapter we get the sand batteries, the thermal batteries. Shit, what were we talking about? 2A stuff. Yeah, so astenine, what kind of, like, usually what I ask people for, like, modern self-defense tools is I ask them what, I use fantasy, but I don't mean it in like a condescending or even a happy way. What astenine, like what kind of trouble do you imagine getting yourself into? Because that's what's gonna dictate kind of what I tell you to get first. Because if you're worried about 3 to 5 people kicking your door in, that's very, very different from you're just looking for something to take with you to the grocery store. Because unfortunately, a lot of people have their stupid bullshit, wrong button again. They have their little cute, just get a shotgun and fire a blast into the air and alternate shells. People have stupid shit like that they say. Or you ask the boomers, and they'll be like, get a 1911. So, okay. So for home invasion, how many people are you worried about invading your home? Are you worried about 1 to 3 people invading your home? Or are you worried about like 3 to 5 plus people invading your home? And do you have, I guess you don't have to answer some of these things if people know where you live, but if you're going to be solo defending, you don't have to answer this, but if you're going to be solo defending your home, you're basically going to need some kind of AR platform or some kind of carbine. And some of that depends on if you're living in more of a rural area or more of a suburban area where like you might want like a pistol with frangible ammo. Maybe. So are you allowed in your state to have like AR style, modern rifles and like modern pistol caliber carbines? Because I'm assuming you're a gal, and gals can fire and handle and manipulate AR platform rifles really, 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 really easily. Look, children can fire ARs just fine. They have no recoil. They are extremely controllable. One of the biggest BS things is, ARs are big and loud and scary and it's just too much for a gal. No. ARs are extremely controllable for a gal. As long as it's got a collapsible stock so they can, or a telescoping stock so they can adjust it to their tiny body sizes. But if you're surrounded by houses, you might want a pistol caliber carbine. 1 to 3 in solo. You gave it to your nephew? Yeah, I get it. Hopefully your nephew is going to come and save you if the shit hits the fan and you can rally up together. Was the AR style, was it just not your thing? Did you want something like a little bit smaller and a little bit more controllable? Did you want like something for your bedstand? Like something that you could put a silencer on? So like, holy shit, why did every single one of these gotta ask you if you're freaking 18? Get a grip. So they make pistol caliber, carbines that have, that you can screw a silencer on if you're worried about it being loud. You don't have to buy, like, what I'm about to throw in the chat, like, you don't have to buy it, but I'm trying to give you like some ideas. And I don't know, this is always like one that jumps out at me. It's like the CZ Scorpion. If you wanted something in a pistol caliber, I'm about 10 minutes from town. When my husband passed, I decided I couldn't go lone wolf anyway, and I'd go meet him in paradise, but now I'm thinking to try. Oh, that's so sweet. He's looking at you from above, and he's thinking to himself, I want her to take out as many shit bags as possible. That's what he's saying. He's saying, I can't take out those shit bags. That's insane, Griffin. So yeah, your husband wants you to take out as many shit bags as you can. I know. If he had a modern rifle, that's what he wants. So that link is a CZ Scorpion. They're very controllable. You can put, a silencer on them. You can put optics on them. I know that's a little expensive, but when my point of showing you that is when you go to the gun store, you can say like, I'm worried about home invasions. You're less concerned with pistol ammo going into other people's houses, right? Pistol caliber carbines are like super controllable. You can get a stock for them. You can shoot it like a pistol. You can shoot it like a rifle. Like I said, you can put a silencer on it. They won't even know where you are, and you'll just be sneaking around like a ninja, kneecapping all of them. But it doesn't have to be a Scorpion Evo. They have much more affordable pistol caliber carbines. You'll be able to, you could throw a red dot on it. You'll be able to, most home invasions happen at night. So, you could put on your nods and your body armor and sneak around the house and kneecap all the, I almost said something really bad, all the youths, wink, wink, all the valedictorians. Kneecap all the valedictorians that are trying to break into your house. Obviously, you want a reinforced door and stuff, but all of that's just to buy you time so you can kneecap all of them. Then you're not running around deaf. If you were in a more rural area, or if you're worried about dealing with vehicles, I would say rifle. But honestly, you can still get really decent mags. CZ22, hell yeah, dude, hell yeah. I want to get a freaking CZ for my wife so bad, but all that shit's banned here now. I want to get her a CZ Scorpion. Ever since forever. There's so many guns I want to get. It's all fucking illegal now. Such bullshit. CZ makes nice stuff. But if you want a pistol that you can modify, you can get a Springfield Echelon and then drop it into a shell that turns it into a pistol caliber carbine. Then you'd have a pistol and a pistol caliber carbine, both. They're modular. They make a lot of modular pistols now, which is nice. Don't get the SIG P320. Talk about buyer's remorse. Sucks. Chapter 2. How do you reinforce doors? I was like, oh no. Floor to ceiling windows. Windows are not that hard. You can get filaments on your windows, and your windows will be pretty tough. Sliding glass doors are insanely difficult to reinforce. Not only do you have to have the filament on them so they can't just smash right through them, but you have to have bars set up in ways to where they can't remove your sliding glass door from the track. It's very hard. But it's possible. You'd have to hire some security contractors and have them put security film on all of your windows. And then curtains and then cameras. That way you can see outside without having to move your curtains and give away your position. Cameras are kind of a whole deal, though. They have camera jammers now, signal jammers, and so you got to have... a lot of these big home invasion crews just have signal jammers, which knock your cameras out. So you got to have your cameras on a closed circuit system. But they're pretty affordable. Like, you can go get... From what I understand, you can go get a pretty decent set at Costco. But yeah, that's how you do it. It's just some security film, like a rubbery kind of plasticky film that makes like smashing the window almost fucking impossible. Oh, I hear the battle moochers. Uh-oh. What happened to my UI? Oh, because the thermal battery. I've been more looking at external security so you get notice when someone's outside before they get to the glass. It's around time to escape and evade. I don't know, Griffin. You need both. You have a full glass door? Holy moly. Griffin, you need both. Here in the US, you need both. you even if you have like AI detecting the people outside and alerting you, it still only buys you like a couple seconds. If they're going to come through the windows, they're going to come through the windows anyway, and you need the windows to also slow them down. And you can have glass break sensors, but if they already know you have an alarm, or if they're jamming your alarm, then they're coming in anyway. And 5 seconds is really hard for you to wake up from a dead sleep, a cold sleep, and even if you have your rifle right next to you, not many people are good at waking up in 5 seconds and being able to put rounds on target when there's 5 people coming into your house. I'm just being like realistic. Hold on, I need to talk to the AI really quick. I'm E2Eing in chapter 6, and the thermal battery is between medium and large. Can I get the thermal battery after the medium, not below it, please? Like, I'm not really worried about windows here, because if they come crashing through the windows, they're just gonna... These are really old windows. These are like original windows, and them crashing through these would just be a mess. And it would take them a while to be able to recover from smashing through these windows. Yep, Griffin, exactly. But there's places with really nice windows where like someone could come through those windows in 2 seconds, and like if she has, what did she say, wall to ceiling windows, man, there's places like that here too, and like, yeah, you could just walk right through them. It's really bad design. Okay, an update UI file. Wait. Oh, hold on. I'm working with... I need to change the UI really quick, or it's going to be hard to finish this playthrough. As soon as the AI lets me click on it. Excuse me. Nocturnal cramp. Yeah. The other thing... Oh. Yeah, Tiggs. The other thing you can do, though, if you just cannot secure that many windows, your bedroom basically has to be a safe room. But if your bedroom has those same damn windows, that's going to be hard. But as a last-ditch effort, you can try to reinforce your bedroom. And hopefully the sliding glass door is not attached to your freaking bedroom, because if it is, then you're in real trouble. Does that help? Because that, honestly, that might just be the way to go. Battery level text, battery text. Cross your fingers, gentlemen. Refresh. Save. Refresh. Refresh. Uh-oh. Don't look at that. That was the code. Sustainment protocol. No, it didn't work. Son of a bitch. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it's word wrapping. Hold on. Question. No, it can't be that. Readout? Dude, my UI is so fucked. You guys have no idea how bad it is. I bet you that's the problem, is it's word wrapping. I'm going to have to spend just like hours please tell me. I know it's not that. I'm just wishful thinking. It's going to take me hours to figure this out. It's not that. Storage label? Sorry, this is usually the part where everybody just like checks out. Everybody gets like super crap. I don't even know what that is. Storage label. Battery label? Is it battery label? Control buttons? I know it's not control buttons. Sorry, this is when I lose everybody. Check the chat. Roller shutters, regular windows, sliding doors the other end of the house. Can you get roller shutters? Double glazed windows. Yeah, what I would do, Astatine, is I would turn your bedroom into a safe room, and that would be like your fallback point. That way, when you go to bed at night, you lock your bedroom door and just get a really, really beefy internal bedroom door. And then if they break in at the other end of the house, you're going to be okay. In a lot of third world shithole countries, their bedrooms are basically designed like vaults. And that's why. Damn. Robot panel. Robot label. Comms panel. Power panel? No. Monitor video? No. Shit. Journal text. Load button. Panel. Robo display. The shitty thing is like, I don't actually know. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I'm finally running into this problem. I had a feeling this was going to be the next thing I ran into. And I hate how the UI is designed in this. I'd wake up before anyone got through the bedroom door. Yeah, but it's not like waking up. It's being able to wake up and having, your firearm ready to go. And if you sleep with it next to your bed, that buys you, some time, but you need to have that. You need to have your bedroom door strong enough to be able to slow them down. Does that make sense? So turning your bedroom into a vault is like the way to go. Battery text, like what container is this in? Sustainment protocol. Yeah, yep, Griffin. That would be the next best thing, honestly. That would be badass. That would be like hard curtains. That would be badass. I need to ask the AI something again before I screw this up too bad. Yeah, what I want it to be is like small, medium, thermal. Come on, please, and large. Did you set it up like that, or am I having word wrap problem in the containers? I really don't want to mess my UI up. Until I'm ready to mess my UI up, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. Make sure none of my other... Yeah, everything's fine. Let's see how the chatteroo's doing. If it gets really bad, I can stay in the basement. True. I mean, that if you had a way of like hiding the entrance to the basement, like making the basement like a secret. It's a double Kenworth, dude. Hell yeah, that's awesome. The thing is, as to Teen, staying in the basement has a couple of benefits. First of all, if somebody just riddles your house full of bullets, you're fine. And if you don't have any windows to your basement, like, yeah, they can technically set your house on fire. You know, that's a problem. So, you know, your basement should have some kind of, like, exit. Like we were talking about bunkers earlier. I mean, a basement is basically just a bunker, so you need like an emergency, you know, escape hatch. But, you know, moving your bedroom to the basement and then getting like a secret entrance and then getting cameras up there, turning the basement into a vault might be the way to go. If you have like a hidden emergency exit, that'd be really rad, actually. Okay, here we go. The AI thinks it solved the problem now. Sustainment protocol. 1 second, guys. Thanks for bearing with me here. Did that do it? Please, please, please. That's the wrong button. Yes! Let's go. Perfect. Thank you. Oh my gosh. We're saved, everybody. Now, what were we doing? Build turret. Dude, our friggin' bunker's getting destroyed. Well, here's the thing. Valid questions. First of all, valid questions. I think, you know, making the secret, you know, entrance could be just as easy as making the door look like a shelf. And I mean, there's little shelf hangers and stuff that just make it look like a shelf so it doesn't look like a door. I mean, we've got them on every door. Every single door in here looks like some kind of shelf or a coat hanger. Yeah, it's like Griffin said, the exit kind of depends on a few things. Sorry, Tiggs. Hopefully it's not the end of the world where you're at. If it is, oh, good luck. I wish you good luck if it's the end of the world. Sustainment protocol. Trying to get rid of a bunch of these like double percentages. These double percentages like drive me nuts. There's no reason for there to be like 10 million freaking double percentages in the game. I'll worry about it later. No, I won't. It's like super OCD with all these double percentages. I'll deal with it later. That, you know what though? You can, if you're not using the garage as a garage, you can create like bolt latches into the concrete, and you can like latch the garage doors into the concrete, and you can create thingy madoodles on the sides that like screw into the wood with like really heavy screws that bolt the sides of the garage door to the walls on both sides. That's what I did here. Oh, you're using it as a garage? Well, that's gonna have like vehicle fumes and shit in it too. But still, you're still below ground. So yeah. Dude, these double percentages are driving me insane. There's so many of them. There's just like more and more and more and more. Super driving my OCD crazy. Alright, check the chatteroo. Oh, okay, nothing. Repair greenhouse. It's a good thing you guys, it's a good thing I took tomorrow off. I'd be like super zorked right now. Let's get the defense turret going. 150 scrap. Dude, I love the little icon for thermal. That's cute. Well, I hope that helped, Asta Teen. It's 1:12 a.m. You know, it's like 3 hours ahead of you guys, right? 3-4 hours ahead of you guys. Plus 1 day. We're plus, what are we? Plus 22 GMT or whatever the hell it is. Plus 21 GMT. I can't remember. I used to know what time it was in Australia. We had customers there. I used to know what time it was in Germany too, because we had customers there. 7, so you're plus 18 GMT. I think that's right. I'm intentionally, by the way, side note, I'm intentionally letting all this run down because I'm going to try something. Welcome back, Tiggs. I'm going to try a new repair system, but I'm looking at this thermal now. I'm wondering if this thermal is just being added into the overall. I bet that's what it is. 10:14 p.m. That's insane, Tiggs. You're 3 hours ahead of Griffin. Are you like on the west part of the island and Tiggs is on the east part of, and New Zealand's like east more? It's crazy. Build turret. Dude, I'm hungry. Been fasting like crazy. I officially haven't eaten anything in like 12 frigging hours again. I don't believe what... Side note, we'll talk about like fasting and weight loss and stuff here for a second. I absolutely do not believe what the scale is saying my weight is at all. And I'm trying to learn more about weight loss stuff. And here in South, I wonder if like South, because we're in a globe, I wonder if technically New Zealand must just be further east because the planet's freaking round and shit. Anyway, I've been looking up more like weight loss stuff and watching different, weight loss YouTubers and fitness YouTubers. And it kind of reminded me of that whole conversation around like how people have so much water weight and how water just like weighs a ton and then like bloats you up and stuff. And so like you can lose like 20 pounds, but it just be water. And it's like you haven't actually lost like any weight. And it's one of those like Central Australia at the bottom. Oh, okay. South Central. Crazy. Yes, I know. You're separate countries and islands and shit. I just mean like when you look at a map, Australia and New Zealand look like they're right next to each other. But in reality, like New Zealand is actually like east if you think of the planet like a globe. I never thought about it like that before. I was just kind of chuckling about it in my head. I had to look up a lot of stuff of like where Guam was like relative to Hawaii and things when I wrote like my post-apocalypse books, and where Hong Kong is, relative to China, relative to like the Spratly Islands, relative to the Philippines, and the 13 dotted lines. Hold on a second, I gotta take another note. Chapter 6's gate into 7 is 600, and I have a 1,000. Hold on a second. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, 80, 1,000. I think it is counting this thermal battery. That's good. That's not what I wanted it to do, but that works. Crap, I can't think. Solar. Well, what else do you guys want to talk about? I'm like starting to zork out. A lot of people don't know. Well, I know that you guys are separate because I have played Plague Incorporated, and Plague Incorporated makes you memorize where all the islands are. I am not your average retarded American. Hopefully you guys have figured that out by now. By the fact that I can do voices from people from other countries, that I'm not your average fucking retard. Hopefully. I just get frustrated a lot. I get frustrated a lot because I've been taken advantage of way too many times. And again, I was also watching the same fitness YouTuber, and he was kind of talking about how you only need to give like 90% because the extra 10% at the top takes like a disproportional amount. And that's why I'm going to be like stopping working on this game as soon as this game is like good enough, because which is going to be here in a couple days, because that. Hell yeah. I think this game, I know I can get to chapter 7. I don't know were you guys around, but I actually did get to chapter 7. And I've started to work out the bugs, and so I'm gonna honestly, like, this game is like 95% done now. If chapter 7 goes the way I think it's gonna go, to where I can have a repair bot repair all this. I'm basically doing like a no repair run, just to see how balanced the game is if you just don't repair anything. Yeah. Thank you, Tiggs. Of course, you know what would be really effed up? I could make this even harder. You think you saw the end of chapter 7? I don't think so, because I only got about halfway through it when I played it last time. I'm gonna make the conscious choice to make this game even harder. Let's make the game even harder and have the robots stop attacking structures that are at 1 HP, because 1 HP is basically destroyed. That would make it even harder if they focused their attacks on the remaining structures that weren't 1 HP. Oh, thank you, Astatine. I hope this helped. Feel free to leave more questions in my comments section, and I can make videos about just whatever specific thing is on your mind. I don't care. Even if even one person gets something out of my videos, honestly, I'm happy. Right. I'm just tired of making videos for like nobody. I was thinking about making a video. It wasn't about drones. Oh no, it wasn't about seeds. Ow, my foot. Speaking of nocturnal cramps, What was I going to make a video about? Fuck, it was something cool. Armor? I think I was going to make a video about armor. RMA. Armor. That'd be rad, actually. If I had like a Brazilian dollars, I would buy another set of armor and show you guys some different types. Mesh networks and radios and stuff are as cool as the next guy's stuff, but I'm so mad at my radios. I spent a lot of money on radios and they don't quite work the way I want. And I really love them. I have a pair of TYTs. Oh, I love these radios so stinking much. They are so much fun to use. But they're just glitchy little bastards. You know, the shitty thing is, Griffin, and I didn't want to say it, but I'll say it now because it kind of, you brought it up again. Home defense for singles is not practical. You have to be training in like a 2-person team. Because you, as one person, you can get suppressed too easily. Unless you have like grenades, armoire. You know, unless you got like a robot suit or something. But you can get suppressed too easily. If the people have even remotely any training, unless you've got smoke grenades, you know, or unless you can shut the lights off in the house and use night vision. You know, if you're going to be a super single, it's tough, man. You have to overwhelmingly have things in your favor. You're right. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Like this is, you know, the obvious easy answer is to tell people to stop living alone. But for a lot of people, they've already chased their kids away, or their kid doesn't want them around. And I know that's like a non-answer. But I know there's a lot of people that, you know, want, you know, a murder babe running around. There's a lot of gals that want a dude that's not going to be a big piece of shit. I think the problem is for the gals these days, and I've got into it with people about this before. Gals want a guy that has a decent fucking job. And that they think will also have a decent job in the future. Because they're going back to cave girl mentality. To where they want, you know, big, strong protector man. Well, yeah, you live in a big murder house. It's hard to attract a gal when you live in a big murder house. With your murder bunker. You gotta, like, go find a... You gotta go on the Murder Bunnies Anonymous and find a gal. On Murder Bunnies. And I made that up. You have to find a gal that... Yeah, Tiggs is right. It's hard to find one that wants your life. Or that can see themselves in your life. It's really hard. And congrats on having 2 kids. That's super cool. There's a lot of advantages to having your own little bastards running around. It's very advantageous in a shit it's the fan situation. Or it can be, at least, if they're not a bunch of booger-eating moron bastard children that, leave the door open and let your dog out or something. But hopefully it's not like that. It's very hard to find a gal who wants to share your life. And it's hard, also as a guy, it's hard to kind of align your life in a way to where a gal can complement it and still kind of fly on her own. And so for us, someday when I make enough money, what that's going to look like is my wife having her own space where she can do her art stuff. My daughter's moving over to Melbourne, Victoria, Australia in a couple weeks. Wow, Tiggs. Can we tell Chance doesn't have kids? What gave it away? Because I call them little booger-eating bastards? Dude, I call everybody's kids that. One of each. You got the whole set. But also convincing kids that, like, you're stronger together. They have nest leaving syndrome, just like, parents do. Melbourne. I know how to say it. I'm just being an asshole. Oh, here we go. Chapter 7. Let's go, boys. Oh. So that's debug. Shit. No, I'm sure I fixed this. Hold on, let me take some notes really quick. I fixed this, son of a bitch. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Going into chapter 7, could not load chapter 7 val contact equal true. Wait. Could not load chapter 7 val intro.ogv. Hopefully, I'll take a screenshot of this. See if I can get past it. Okay, there we go. That was weird. That was a weird little temporary booger. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tiggs, I get it. Yeah, Griffin, you're 54 is old. Someone should just take you out back and make you dig a hole. Put yourself in it. And call it a bunker. Also, 54 is not too old. There's guys now dating into their late 50s, early 60s. The thing is, like, it's hard to explain this, but, like, gals are so screwed now that they are just looking for somebody to share. Again, they're looking, like what Tiggs said earlier, they're looking for somebody to share a life with. And so you being 54 and basically like an ancient fossil artifact doesn't mean that there's not a gal out there that can't look at your life. Tiggs is also an ancient artifact. You guys are both fossils. Look out, Jurassic Park is coming. Anyway, I'm teasing. I'm joking, you guys. Calm down. Calm your fossils down. Anyway, Gals need to... Oh, here we go. Deploy auto repair bot. Sending a repair bot. Scavenges scrap. Repair structures. Costs 100 power up front. Then drains. That's not what I told it to do. Oh well. Holy spammy moly. Okay. Well, we're definitely stuck now. Holy, look at this spam. You guys are so funny. Dude, I'm screwed. This isn't good. Okay. She's talking about her part. Is this giving me a message at all? It's not giving me a message at all. Okay. Alright, I gotta talk to the AI. Hold on, you guys. Excuse me. Hello, AI. Are you gonna let me... No, the friggin' thing's screwing up again. So yeah, like I said, for me, what that meant was like having a place where my gal can paint. You know, having a place where she can have her computer. Having places that are for her, you know. Setting up a place where she can do 3D printing, you know. Sharing your life with a gal, or if you're a gal, sharing a place with a guy, or, you know, if you're into that kind of thing, sharing it with another gal or another guy. Yeah, Tiggs is the fairer. Tiggs is the fairer realm. Hold on. I'm at chapter 7. Deploy auto repair bot. Clicking on the link isn't doing anything. Not seeing any messages either. Also, I'm not entirely sure we set it up in a way that makes sense. I imagine or maybe we did. Is it using 0.1 power to repair each repair HP and then charging off the battery? Because it still needs to charge off the battery. Remember, power is a payment, and it gathers scrap. Yeah. Okay, there. I'm the AI. The AI is gonna chug on that. Yeah, you can tell 'cause she's so freaking mean to us. I'm joking. Haha. And so that's the thing. That's the thing, Griffin. I also see gals like, especially like nowadays, when they've got like the influencer bug, and you know they just want to be like an influencer, and you know they were 25 and now they're getting to be 35 and they still want to be, you know, like a hot influencer gal, and that's how they make their money, is by being hot. Like Doctor, yeah, I know, Griffin. I noticed that too. Like, and you know, being hot, being a hot chick is like your job. I imagine that's got to put like a crazy strain on a relationship, because the gal's like, well, it's not the right time in my life to have a baby. It's like, well, you see having a baby as an affront to being, viable for marketing purposes. And it's like, you having a baby shouldn't like completely fuck up your entire career. I don't know if it's like it's I wouldn't say it's fake. I would say it's like manufactured. I don't think it's fake. I think it's manufactured, curated. It's marketing, right? I would say it was marketing. Whoops, that's not right. Hold on, I'm doing some code and stuff in the background. I'm trying to get that robot to work. I want to finish the game tonight. So I'm doing some code in the background. Apply repair. Add the update the parasitic drain. Yes. Hold on. Do that. Okay. Apple v banana. I've heard that before, but I don't know what that means. Oh, it worked. It worked. Uh-oh. Val scavenge. Stop. Could not load shit. Chapter 7 Val scavenge.ogv. Wow. Okay. Is it in the breaker at least? Defense for assembly, like start pump repeater. Okay. I don't see repair bot. I don't see repair bot in the breaker panel. Sometimes it does chance depending on the time of husband. Sometimes what? I already forgot what we were talking about. Are we talking about like being an influencer can fuck up relationships? Are you saying that like, I think a guy being an influencer, I don't think this is what you're saying, but now that I think about it, like this is kind of interesting, I think. I think a guy being an influencer is like way less of an impact, because a guy being an influencer, if he doesn't get pregnant and it doesn't ruin the marketing, whereas like a hot gal getting pregnant in Hollywood, it's like really bad too. I mean, and a lot of times there's influencer gals can't even indicate that they have a boyfriend before they see their revenue just drop like crazy. I was watching, in fact, I think it was the same gal. Someone said something like something about her boyfriend or something about her husband or something. And they were just saying that to be shitty to just kind of crap on Oh, the repair bot is repairing. I see it. Just to kind of crap on her channel, because they know that a lot of guys will stop watching a gal if they think she's in a relationship, because they like to have that creepy parasocial boyfriend mentality. Super toxic. Guys don't have that problem. It's usually other guys watching guys, and they just don't give a shit. Super gay. But with gals, it's not like that. So, I forgot my point to all that. Oh, yeah, so you might, I have heard that it is a challenge to date a lot of gals these days, because if they all think they're going to be the next Instagram model, and they all get their validation from the internet instead of by their significant other, you're never going to compete with the endorphin rush of them having tons of guys chasing their fanny around all the time. Okay. I think repair bot's working, but it repairs a little too slow. Can speed it up because at this point we have tons of power and tons of watt hours, because the weather's not really... Wait a minute. Yeah. At least 4 now. Yeah, not interested. You're not interested in being an Instagram model? Or something else? Not you, Ringo. You should be an Instagram model because you're such a cutie cat. You're such a cutie cat. You should be an Instagram kitty. Oh, not high hopes. I think the universe finds a way. Yes, Griffin, you hit the nail. You hit the nail on the head. It's so weird. It's so weird and so toxic. It all, in my opinion, it all stems from the fact that guys these days, and well, honestly, for a long time now, just never had to learn rejection. And how they handle rejection is just like the most toxic way ever. Kitty cat. Kitty cat. Kitty cat. You're gonna... And so instead of them just realizing they need to better themselves, stop being fat piece of shit so they can attract gals, make money, be successful, become confident with yourself. Oh, no model. You're not going to be an Instagram model? Well, I'm sure some people will be upset about that. Oh, shoot. I should try repairs, because if I did the 3D printer... Hold on. Oh, I don't see the 3D printer in the breaker panel. Hold on, I gotta write another note down. I don't see the 3D printer in the breaker panel to improve how much my robot repairs each HP tick. That was supposed to be in chapter 2 or chapter 3, right? Your kitty is called Ringo? Yeah. He's an Instagram model, probably. Maybe he is. I don't know what he does all day. Reach a certain age where you just don't care what people think. You live your life the best. I know, Griffin. The problem is... Yeah, I guess you might know. It's easy for me to say this, but I've always been this way. Like, none of us are perfect, A. And B, none of us... Oh, that's right, Griffin. He's purring. Here, hold on. This is going to be loud. I'm sorry to hear that. I assumed your husband wasn't a piece of shit. I guess I read that wrong. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Griffin, the thing is like, you know, you're not the best you that you can be. You know, I'm not the best me that I can be. Like, and so why be stuck? Why be stuck in your ways? Like, I can't fucking stand people like that. In real life, you know, I don't have to deal with you, so I don't give a shit how you are on the internet. But like in real life, holy fuck, it pisses me off. Like, people just don't want to adapt because they just... Really what you're saying is you have reached a certain point in your life to where you don't have to adapt anymore. Like, that's really what it is. Nothing is forcing you to adapt, and so you've gotten comfortable in being how you are. That's okay, but you're just choosing to not, or some, you just haven't ran into the proper motivation yet. Either way, the universe has a way of slapping the shit out of you. Dude, I am actually like hemorrhaging battery. This is amazing. It's actually happening. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, see, look, turning the thermal battery... Well, the thermal battery shouldn't be there anyway. Well, maybe it should. I don't know. Does the... No defenses available. I wonder if the defenses actually stopped working. Your last partner. What do you mean, partner? I don't understand when people use the word partner. Did you mean like someone you're in a relationship with, or like your roommate? What do you mean? That's interesting. It actually looks like the turret stopped working. You had a cat called Star? That's insane. I need to write down another AI note to figure out what having link star on and off is good for. Imagine it could be tied to the hash rate for the crypto or something? Question mark. I think this scrap progress is kind of nuts. Star passed a week after Ringo. Oh, I'm sorry. I still don't know what you mean by partner. Was Ringo a cat and Star was a cat? Were they both cats? Hash rate. Holy like, dude, the chatter spam is actually insane. I'm sorry, Tiggs. Hash rate critical virus launching attack. I'm just taking like a lot of notes here. Hash rate critical virus launching attack spams like crazy. We're lucky we have the spam filter in, but it still floods the chatter chat. Oh, it was a relationship. Okay. Wait, was Ringo the bad one? Was Ringo the guy that was a piece of crap? Or no? I'm trying to follow along. I swear I'm not being an asshole. Let me reread it again. Husband was nasty. 14 years. 12 years ago. Ringo. So your husband's actually been passed away for a really long time. Or your husband left and Ringo passed away. Was Ringo, did Ringo have the rifle? Oh no, shit. That was Astatine. Fuck. I am an asshole. I'm sorry. I got your story and Astatine's story fucked up. I'm sorry. That was really rude of me. I know gals get like mega fucking pissed when you screw up things like that. I'm sorry. I could make excuses like I've been up for 18 hours and worked a full day. But there's no excuse. I apologize. I will throw myself in front of a Jell-O mold. Dude, this is crazy. Like, look at the power draw. Chapter 7. I should be able to build a third geo. 5, 6, 7. I need to write this down because I don't know why it hides my geothermal button. The game is hiding the build geothermal button. Going into chapter 7, making it impossible to build an additional geoturbine. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you, Griffin. The thing is, this is going to sound really stupid, going back to influencer crap, is that you guys are giving me like great watch hours right now, and I would be really stupid to not take advantage, but like the fact that you're here is giving me watch hours, and I really want to try to get my channel monetized. My channel hasn't been monetized for like 10 years. And the problem is, shit, I guess I should actually start repairing, because that's probably what's killing my shit off. I'm going to start trying to repair and see if I can unfuck my battery usage. To be honest, though, this is actually kind of what was supposed to happen. His relationship with a guy called Ringo 12 years ago. He passed with cancer. My husband was years back in the 80s and 90s. Damn. Well, I'm still sorry. I feel like a piece of shit for fucking up my memories of... You're supposed to be paying... It's kind of like guy code that you're supposed to be paying attention enough to where you don't say stupid shit like that. I was listening. I hope you know that. Okay, hopefully I can repair my shit enough to get my battery usage back up to positive. I'm actually negative. This is crazy. I know the last chapter is supposed to be hard, but this is definitely not quite working. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, watch hours. So I was monetized like over 10 years ago. They took my monetization away when they changed the rules. I had a video go viral and they took all the money. And to this day, I still have videos that are monetized that I'm not making any money from. And so, having you guys here is giving me watch hours, which is getting me closer to being monetized. I deleted 4 or 5 videos because just nobody was listening to them. And so I kind of had to regroup a little bit. I tried to do a new video and I tried to put like little funny AI images in it and stuff. And it still only got like 2 people watch the whole damn thing. So, what I'm, so by you guys being here, it's giving me my watch time, my watch hours back, which I need. And so you're the only people hanging out. And, my videos don't amuse either one of you. So this is kind of all I got. And until I can figure out what kind of videos that people want, I don't know what to do. And that's part of the reason I can't get people to review my book, And so I made this game to try to get some kind of something. I'm trying to find something that, interests people enough to stick around. You know what I mean? I don't know what any of that does, but I do know the defense turret actually seems to work. Considering how much work you put into this stuff, you deserve to get rewarded for it. I mean, thanks. I think it's a matter of me creating something that the algorithm shares out. But I know I said this like last time. The problem is that people are used to just like such tightly curated content. In fact, I was watching, this is insane. I was watching this drone guy's comment, and he had what was effectively a 15-minute podcast with like the same 6 to 8 scenes on loop over and over again. No shit. And the scenes had nothing to do with the fucking video at all. Barely, loosely. The videos were of the same brand of the thing that he was talking about, but they had nothing to do with what he was talking about. And that's the thing, is like people have their little podcasts or whatever, and they just put nonsense up. They put nonsense up. Well, I'm fully repaired and that didn't help. And I'm at my turbine limit. Let's build a bunch of windmills. Yeah, I can't build another geothermal. So I've got to build windmills. Because see my battery down here? So I'll try to build windmills. That's funny. It's funny that my I'm still making enough to where things can recharge. It's just like, my solar usage is dog shit, because what you can't see here is that there's like a solar eclipse, kind of like an ash thing going on. We need to update the UI up by the year, season that there's some kind of eclipse or shade going on that's killing the solar, or like a negative modifier, like how the other values have positive modifiers. Also, was there plus 10 to the geo vents after the Robo Bay, the Robo Commander opened vents up? I'll read the chat in just a second. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh man, my game crashed. Hold on. Function build solar out of bounds. Huh. Why did it crash? It crashed at 28 panels. Well, that's not good. Oh, yeah, you're right, Griffin. Stupidity gets views. Can you set up an autosave? Fuck. You know what? I was going to do that. Let me put that in the notes. Hold on a second. It's crazy how it takes like the mission screen and the monitor screen a while to load. These should load eventually. Hopefully. So that works. Huh. Well, that's not good. It must, there must be something. I wonder if as soon as I scavenge again, I wonder if it'll update. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that in my notes to do the autosave. Set up an autosave after every chapter gate is complete. Yeah, that's not good. Robot engaged but was overwhelmed. So I was supposed to be... Oh, the repairs are done. And I'm gaining battery charge again. What mission is this? I wonder what mission I'm on. I wonder if I saved after I repaired everything? 28 panels. I'm going to save this again, and I'm going to try to build the panels again. I bet you I broke being able to max my panels out. Funny, some videos with awesome people would set stuff up on purpose. Yeah, oh yeah, shorts are just like the most toxic ass thing in the world. Alright, we're going to see if we're going to crash. Yep. Yep, we crash a rude. That's no fun. Alright. You guys are probably just gonna... probably go away after this. And so I totally get it. I do not know what on earth I screwed up. I should be able to build 50 panels. And I should, yeah. So I'm going to talk to the AI in the morning and get to the bottom of it. So sadly, that's where we're going to leave off. So, sorry. We almost got further. Yeah, I know. It's the shorts are just like lowest common denominator slop. It's just insane. And some of it's just like flat out bogus information. So, yeah, that's why I made my game, and that's why I make my books. I try to do something new, which isn't rewarded. The cats are running around the house at 2 a.m. like they're in turbo mode, and that's going to be fun trying to go to sleep. So, yeah, it's 2 a.m. here, but I appreciate you all, and tomorrow night, or Saturday night, I promise we will try again, okay? We'll try again. How long? 3, so this game is about... This is going to be like basically like a 4 or 5 hour game, I think. So, I think that's fun. I think people are going to like this. I think people are going to like my little adventure novel thing. Yeah, I appreciate you. And if, Griffin, if you want to watch more of my videos or just let my videos play in the background or something, or Tiggs, if you want to do that, all that gives me watch hours. So, and if you don't want to, that's fine. But I have like my poorly narrated books on here too. So like, I narrated my novels, my first couple novels. So if you like hearing me talk, yeah, Ringo is a good kitty cat. And I figured out that Ringo is a good guy. I learned some things tonight. If you want to listen to me poorly narrate some of my books, that'll help me with my watch time. Are either of you interested in that? I can throw the link in here. I have like a playlist. Poorly narrated. Where are they? There's that. Baofeng playlist, book covers, bunker codes, sock drama. I'm probably like looking right at it, but I'm just like so zorked that I can't think. Or it's not on my... Hold on. Baofeng playlist, series, AI book covers, sock drama, music compilations, analysis. Oh, here we go. All right, we are... Yeah. Yeah. If you want to listen to my poorly narrated books, the first couple are there. Some people think those are fun. I read those live in front of a live studio audience. So anyway, I appreciate you all. And Tiggs, Griffin, you both are awesome. I super appreciate. I wouldn't have gotten this far without you two. You two have like helped me through this game in more ways than you know. So that's why you're both going to get a special thanks at the end. So thanks for rooting me on and believing in me. And yeah, I need sleep. It's a good thing I took tomorrow off. Holy shit. This would be kind of weird. Also, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I don't understand who drives around at 2 a.m. Like, where the hell are people going at 2 a.m.? Actually, the answer is they probably work in warehouses. And I'm like, anyway, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate you all. And I'm going to spend all day fixing this. And we'll try it again tomorrow night. Okay? And check out my poorly narrated... Check out my poorly narrated books. It's free. You can listen to me read for free. Read my books. And that'll give me watch hours. Okay? I'd really appreciate it. I'd love to hear what you guys think about my poorly narrated books. And give me watch hours. And ask me any questions you want. Okay? I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.